tonight's the night of bluntness. I'll try and mend my ways.
Yeah, see
I've
what
been hanging
happens
out
you
with
sit
Caroline
next
a
to
lot.
her.
Yeah.
That's a good
Sorry,
one.
guys. You're gonna like it.
It's intoxicating power, but it'll go right to my head. And eventually my hips.
What was that line you used, Caroline? I know where you
Guess
live.
that.
Yeah. All right, are we all back in? Then, let's start with a motion on the minutes, I would guess.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes as read to us by the county clerk.
That's for the closed session, correct?
Closed session.
All right. Have a motion?
Support.
I have a motion with support. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved.
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion. I move that we adopt our attorney's recommendation and course of action in the matter of Ruggiero versus Shiawassee County, case number 21-5977-CZ, and Genesee County case number 21-115955-CZ. That's my motion.
I have a motion with support. Any discussion on that item? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes. All right, that is approved. At this time, I will need a motion to approve the minutes of the November 17, 2022 Board of Commissioners meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion on those minutes. All in favor of approval of said minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those minutes are approved. I will now need a motion to approve the minutes of the December 1st, 2022 Special Board of Commissioners meeting.
So moved.
Support.
I've got a motion with support. Discussion on those minutes. Hearing none. All in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those are approved. And finally, I will need a motion to approve the minutes of the December 12th, 2022 Special Board of Commissioners meeting.
So moved.
Who made that motion?
Plowman.
In a motion,
I'm sorry.
Plowman.
Oh,
support by Howard.
okay.
Support.
Okay. A motion with support, further discussion. All in favor of approving those minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And they're approved. And now we move on to approval of the bills. Commissioner Plowman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to approve the invoice edit reports dated 11/14, 11/18, 11/21, 11/23, 11/25, 12/5, 12/6, and 12/9, and that we draw from the Treasury warrants for same with a total combined all activity of $4,307,236.83, and this does include both batch and wire and the
Second.
Got a motion with support on the bills. Any discussion? In that case, I'd like a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes, the bills are approved. And at this time, we have our first opportunity for the public to address the board. I have a few people here. I believe first was Paula Brooks.
Thank you, Paula Brooks of Durant. Frank Walsh must be wondering about last evening's amazing steps to rescind Adam Stacy's job offer. I watched his presentations in Durand and here as to the process he goes through to provide candidates best suited for the position based on requested requirements. While I haven't been privy to his behind-the-scenes work, he appears to know his business. What I did notice were elements on this board who balked at the democratic-approved process, including the interview process. Why pay for something if you aren't willing to work with it? For Mr. Plowman to make the comment Mr. Stacy doesn't have county experience is absurd. but then neither did one of the other candidates. 3 local newspaper articles stated he was a Clinton County Commissioner since 2009 and lost his bid for re-election this fall. Was this information in the submitted resume? In addition, a quick look at the Clinton County website shows he is chairman of their Ways and Means Committee. While the Clinton County population is a little over 1 times larger than Shiawassee County, we're almost 37 times larger than the community one of the other candidates is from. Talk about jumping from the goldfish bowl to shark-infested waters. Since finances were a key element, someone dealing with a larger budget may have new insight into dealing with a smaller one because they've already been there. Yes, it's a huge decision to make, but the process used by several of you to hire 2 prior coordinators apparently wasn't spot on either, and apparently without public interviews in the last 2 hires. So now you have egg on your faces once again by taking away the toy after it was gifted 3 days later. How unprofessional. Did someone not get their way, so behind-the-scenes campaigns started to change the outcome? Because that's the impression I was left with, and I'm sure others in the public will as well. Have the incoming board make the decision instead. In the meantime, the current candidate should run for the hills because this is a sign of what they will have to deal with in the future. My magic ball doesn't have all the knowledge for the best choice, but the due diligence of your consultant and yourself should have provided you information needed. Only the shadow knows who will be the best choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Trying to pronounce the name, Emaris? Emaris? Thank you. Emaris?
Emirates.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Ganser.
Emaris Ganser.
Good
Please.
evening. I am here today I work with Caroline in the county clerk's office, and I'm here on behalf of us at ASME, from ASME Union, I should say. Sorry. I've been following the meetings this week pretty closely because of our agreement. I didn't see under finance. It's just a tentative agreement, but there's been hesitance across the board. And in that regard, it was asked, why are we putting it forward now? Why not earlier? And Eric had said before, our attorney, there were turnover, different people that were present, but the first person to come to our office and make an impression on us was Sierra Bonilla. And she's been what's been the driving force on this agreement. She began the research back in August, and that's when she approached us and we had a meeting ourselves. With her help, we've been able to negotiate what would be fair. As it was previously stated on Monday, we have not seen raises this year. What we are asking for is nothing more or less than what other bargaining units have seen. When it came to joining AFSCME in the union, it wasn't a matter of what the union could offer. It was what I could afford. To put that into perspective, that's $40 a month that I had to budget for in regards to our wages. So I ask that you please consider our tentative agreement, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Tom?
Couple of things. Number one, thank you all for your service. It's going to be different around here, and we're all going to miss you all. Not that we're not going to like the new people that are coming on board. There. But there's one thing I do want to touch on, and that is on the coordinator's position. One thing that caught me and caught quite a few other people in this community was the 2 complete different aspects of looking at life by 2 people. One sat here, wrinkled his hands, handed out a form stating that we're all going to die. The other one stood here, and you asked him, well, what would you do? And he's going, we're not going to have a problem. We're going to go out and bring in more business. So do we sit and upset everyone in our that work? Because that's all that they can cut and how they can take things away from the county. what's this, pay to go to parks? I mean, come on now. Personally, and a lot of people I know, love the type person who stands up here and says, we're not gonna go for that, we're not gonna settle for that. We're gonna work with the SEDP, we're gonna work with different, and I'm gonna be out there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in some more revenue into this county. Be it solar farms, be it whatever. The county needs money. And for him to stand here and say, and laugh at us and say, we'll take any business that you guys don't want, send it up to Saginaw, we'll take it. And what are we doing? We're pushing business away. So personally, people I've talked to, we prefer to have a person brought on board that looks at it above half full, and that is going to go out and that is going to build this community and not sit back and wonder, what can I cut today? All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all the slips that I have for right now. I'd like to move into committee reports. Commissioner Webster, would you like to start us off?
Sure. We had a meeting in this room a few weeks ago. Sorry, my timeline's a little off. We met with the Council on Aging, and Brian Boggs and Tracy was here, and had just a really good open conversation. Eric was here, and I think cleared up some just procedural things and understanding things with SCOA. And so hopefully moving forward, some of the questions about how we ask for reimbursement and all that sort of thing will be cleared up. I felt like that was a productive meeting, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to do it. I'm sure Mr. Plowman will share more about this. On our GST Michigan Works Board, tragically, our board president passed away last week of an instant heart attack. It was shocking to have been with him in a meeting in November, to still have emails in my inbox where he said, I'll be at the December meeting, and so that is sort of, I didn't make the December meeting because it was the same week as my mom's funeral, but that was just, there hasn't been a whole lot of business that I can remember. That just sort of has rocked everybody's world. Just a Genesee County Commissioner who passed away very suddenly. Great leader and great to work with. The Community Corrections Advisory Board will meet next week. We did not meet in November. One of the things we have to discuss next week is that the opioid settlement that we thought we were getting is not coming when we thought it would come. Ottawa County has decided to dispute the formula by which opioid dollars were distributed in the state, and that is going to hold up the distribution. I was in a meeting at MAC a couple of weeks ago, and they said that that money could be held up years. I mean, I'm not saying years and years, but I'm saying we're not talking months, we're talking a scope of years. So one of the things, I mean, that was going to be kind of, and we're going to have to talk at CCD about what we're going to do in terms of the pretrial services office and our grant application for the funds for the Community Corrections Advisory. So that is of some concern. At the Valley Area Agency on Aging, we just completed our annual review of the executive director. She has done a fabulous job and was given her annual raise and so forth. So that's my report.
Thank you very much.
I have nothing, so I'll yield back to you.
Thank you. Commissioner Plowman?
I will try to be quick. Just to sum up, the road commission had an excellent year. They sealed or blacktopped 50 miles in Shiawassee County. I might add that on the Carlin Road, that's a complete rebuild with federal money, and they received about 30 to 40% more for next year for that road, and they're going to get within a couple of miles of the county line at the north. And that's been a project they've been working on for several years now, and it's a good project. They were very pleased with everything they got finished up this year. The I-69 corridor met this week, and St. County and Marysville had a huge industrial project that's completed and people are working. And so that was a big plus for our I-69 corridor, and they're looking at next year of having a lot more activity, which we hope they do. One of the big things in the I-69 is a big discussion on a huge railroad yard for propane distribution, and that is probably If it does happen, and quite frankly, several propane companies have signed on, and that would be in Shiawassee County. GS Thumb, as Marlene indicated, our chairman passed away. One of the big differences between 22 and 21 is in 21 they had very little participation in workforce training groups. This year they're packed. So people are being retrained and learning how to do things, and that's been excellent. Also Parks and Rec, of course, you've been hearing about that all week. We will be doing more on that this evening, and that's been a good year. And also, I attended the Mid-Michigan Trail Authority in November. They did not meet here in December, and that's the trails, the rails, and so on. And one thing that I'm going to board of commissioners to really consider next year is to put a committee together for pension review on an annual basis. So we'll make sure that our pension people who handle our pension monies are doing what they should be doing. And so hopefully they'll get that organized next year and get it going. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Carver.
I have nothing new, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Howard.
Yes, Planning Commission met last night. We reviewed the new master plan maps. And then next month in January, we're going to review the rewritten ordinances for the county. The rewrite committee, which is a subcommittee, Planning Commission has been working on diligently rewriting those and bringing lots of them up to date. The ordinances are really a compilation of everything that everybody's added over the past many decades. And so we're hoping to get that brought up to snuff and cleaned up. And we're going to do the first review of that in January.
Would I be putting you on the spot if I asked you if there were any sort of significant trends in the rewrite?
They have not brought that out of the committee to the whole yet, so we're going to see that for the first time in January.
Oh, you haven't
I have not seen it yet,
Okay.
no.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Commissioner Holzhausen.
Yes, I'm on the senior system board with Marlene, and she gives some updates. We're having trouble getting food. All the places that Gordon Foods and a lot of them that we get, there's shortages, so we have to go to Myers and different places to get it, to deliver meals, and that's kind of a big problem. Also, I'm on the 911 board, and they spent over $1 million. All the fire people, the police departments, and all got new radios, and we just approved that the state had to activate them, so we had to pay $45,000 for that, and that's ongoing. Also, I'm on the mental health board. The problem over there is the state would like to privatize it, and they're worried about they was going to do something in the closed session there, but they never did anything yet, so I don't know if it ever happened, but they don't want to privatize it. They're really upset about that. And also on the SEDP with Justin Horvath, I think they got a $680,000 grant for Durand and Vernon area to help get all the legal things, and we got one of the largest sites in the state for anybody that wants to come in there and split it up. So we're working on that. There's all kinds of grants. We have a grant writer that will help out. We're paying her. She'll help all the businesses look for grants, and also the county or individuals or anything. If you want a grant, anybody that, she'll help write them. So that's quite a accomplishment. So that's about it on those things, highlights.
Thank you. My understanding is that grant for the $600-some thousand is a terrific first step toward development of that area.
Yes.
And I think, I personally think that we're going to look back 5 years from now, and we're going to be, it's going to really change Shiawassee County, our financial situation, our job situation. I'm very enthusiastic about that.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
The grant is administered by the SEDP, but the money will run through the county. So probably at your January meeting, you will approve amendment to the current contract that we already have. So we are the fiduciaries of the grant.
but it'll pretty much just be a pass-through. All right, very good. All right, thank you all. I'd like to move the committee motions and reports now. Commissioner Marks, if you would get us started.
Sure will, sir. At this time, I move to approve the contract for electrical inspection services with John Keach and authorize the chair to sign the same.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Is there any discussion on that item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Paulman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes. Now I have to interrupt Commissioner Marks because we are at this point going to need to go to a public hearing to discuss the Shiawassee County Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan. So I will need a motion to go into that public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
We have a motion with support. Discussion. All in favor of going into the public hearing signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment? Please come forward. We'll do hand raising at this time. That'll be fine. Just identify yourself and you'll have 3 minutes.
Tony Baker, Chairman of the Parks and Rec Committee. I'd like to thank the commissioners for your support over the last several years. The board has gotten a lot done, and for you tonight, you do have the 5-year master plan that we've taken this year to put together, and so asking for your support again yet tonight to adopt that. A lot of hard work, got a very motivated board, and a large network of volunteers that have really been cranking over the last 4 or 5 years, and I don't see much changing with the adoption of this plan going into the next 5 years. So, again, appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is David Lossing. I'm the chair of the Shiawassee River Water Trail Coalition, and here to speak on behalf and support of your 5-year park and rec plan. We were formed 5 years ago once we submitted the application to the National Park Service to designate the Shiawassee River as a national water trail. Since that time, we've been designated as a state water trail by the Michigan DNR in 2018, and then finally as a national water trail by the National Park Service in October of 2020. When we pulled together initially, we had 11 members, organizations that were part of our coalition. Today we have 34 organizations, which include local governments between Holly and Chesaning. There are 23 local governments on the Shiawassee River, and we have 21 of them firmly engaged with the coalition, including your Park and Rec Department. And we really appreciate the support. And I read the plan last night. It is well written as always, because we know the guy sitting behind me who wrote that plan, and he's done an excellent job. We had our annual meeting last night, so he shared some tidbits about that plan. So I just wanted to stop by this evening and share my support, because we're really bringing all of the communities along the Shiawassee River together under one umbrella so we can improve the river for everybody. And that's paddlers, anglers, as well as the ag community itself. So thank you very much for the work that you have done, and looking forward to partnering with you and your colleagues on future projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else?
I'll be honest.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Hey, thanks for doing that. I'm Phil Hathaway. I'm the planning consultant for the Parks Commission. I was happy to work for them. They were great to work with. They formed a subcommittee that was extremely effective, because working with 12 people is really hard in a meeting. Working with 4 is a lot more chance for interaction and in-depth discussion. And that showed up at the Parks meetings and did a nice job squaring all that up. We didn't miss anything. This plan goes out of sight, but it's also a guide. It's not just a plan for the parks. It's a guide to use at the meetings, because there's a huge amount of information in there that's been accumulated over the years, and I didn't leave anything out. So it'll go to the state of Michigan for their approval. They'll review it in January. It becomes an eligible document because it's an official statement if you adopt it about the parks. And judged by the public to be okay, I hope. And it now is a fundraising mechanism for you to use. And I think you've got nothing to look forward to that isn't represented by public opinion. They want trails, there's a walk, picnic, and use the river. It's very simple. But operating the parks isn't. And so this plan tries to lay it out so it's doable. Thank you for the time, and I hope the best for our county parks.
Thank you. Bill, I don't think I'd be out of line to say the board, express our thanks from the board to you and everyone who worked so hard on this. I
You're welcome.
Nothing but good. And also, that was less than 3 minutes.
Oh.
We're impressed.
Everywhere I go, I get time, so.
Is there anyone else?
I just wanted to make one quick comment.
Sure.
Again, thank you, Phil, for all your leadership and all this, and of course, all the members, and Brad and I who attend the meetings and do all that kind of, we're just tickled pink that everything got finished, and we can get rolling on applying for, the state has a big bundle of money to spend in 23, so maybe a little bit of it will come our way.
Anyone else? In that case, at this time, I will entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
The motion with support. Further discussion? All in favor of closing the public hearing signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the public hearing
Let's take the time.
is closed at, I'm sorry, that clock is off,
5:37.
5:37. Thank you. But you wanted the time.
No, it's just common.
It's fine. Thank you, I missed that. I think Commissioner Marks, back to you now.
I'm ready, all right, we're on item B. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I move to approve the model plan resolution 22-12-13 for the Shiawassee County Parks Recreation and Open Space Plan.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Further discussion on that item. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes.
All right, then we move on to item C. I make a motion to approve the purchase of property fraud software in an amount not to exceed $17,150.00 and authorize Mr. Reed to execute the same.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes.
All right, at this time, I move to approve the next phase of the stormwater project in an amount not to exceed $65,000.00, with the understanding that it will be paid back to the general fund from the drain commissioner from the first eligible project.
Support.
A motion with support. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
and Chairman Broder.
Yes.
All right, now on to our final item, E. I move to approve the minutes of the December 12th, 2022 Economic and Physical Development Committee meeting.
Support.
A motion with support. Discussion on the minutes. All in favor of those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved.
Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Commissioner Plowman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to authorize the 2022 end-of-year budget adjustments as presented and authorize the county administrator to make any needed additional end-of-the-year budget adjustments to close out the 2022 budget.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion on the budget adjustments.
Just as a note, any additional adjustments outside of the ones that are presented to you in your packet tonight will be presented to you again for final verification in January.
Very good. Nothing further. I'd like a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes. At this time, Commissioner Plowman, I'll be interrupting you to ask for a motion to open a public hearing on the budget, the 2023 budget.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion on that. All in favor, do I need a roll call vote on that? I don't think I do. All in favor of going into an open hearing, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Is there anyone who would like to comment from the public, would like to comment on our 2023 budget? No one rushing forward?
We talked about it all week.
We did indeed.
Yes.
All right. In that case, I would look for a motion to close this public hearing.
I will so move.
Support.
We have a motion of support. All in favor of closing this public hearing at 5:41, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the public hearing is closed.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the 2023 budget resolution and adopt the 2023 budget as presented.
Support.
I have a motion of support. Any further discussion on the budget?
So just if I may, I'd like to note, there are a couple of changes that were made based on our meetings this week. Number one, the amount that department heads can spend as a result of inflation has gone from 5,000 to 6,000. Hadn't been adjusted since 2004 and then 1994 before that. We did get the medical care numbers and the new road commission numbers, and now they've kind of switched. Road commission is using a little more of their fund balance this year. So they're the ones that's a little over in our special revenue accounts, but they have that in their fund balance. Other than that, there are no changes from earlier this week.
Very good. Good. Further questions, comments? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Marks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Webster?
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Garber?
Yes.
Chairman Broder?
Yes.
I move to accept the tentative agreement between AFSCME and Shiawassee County and authorize the chair to execute the final agreement.
Second.
I have a motion with support. Discussion on the AFSCME agreement.
I do have one comment. I'm just gonna echo what I said the other day. We just approved a budget that is $1 million more in wages and benefits and employee costs than last year. Our transfer in funds from, ARPA, basically, to balance that budget is primarily due to wages, and it's not sustainable. So I just feel like, yes, we may do this in the short term, but it's gonna cost somebody, and not that young lady, her job. We can't keep raising wages when we don't have the money to do it, even though it's very much needed.
Anyone else? In that case, I'd like a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Webster?
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Garber?
No.
Commissioner Marks?
Yes.
Chairman Broder?
Yes.
I move to approve the senior citizen service agreement between Shiawassee Council on Aging and Shiawassee County and authorize the chair to execute the same.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Further discussion. Dr. Boggs, did you want to make your standard comment on this one? You've already explained it once that it's.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay. I think we've talked about it a couple of times.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? I'd like a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Webster?
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Garber?
Yes.
Commissioner Marks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Chairman Broder?
Move to approve the proposal from Chumco for replacement of the remaining part of the jail roof in an amount not to exceed $650,000. And the district court roof in an amount not to exceed $300,000.
Support?
Motion with support. Discussion on the replacing the roofs.
I'd just like to note that that is presented to you on this document that you received yesterday from us. It is the last of the major ARPA expenditures, and it pulls us out for the year. So it'll be encumbered and spent next year.
And thank you to you and Tracy and whoever else worked on giving us that salary. It really did help.
Yep, Tracy did most of that.
We know.
I can handle it, yeah.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Holzhausen?
No.
Pardon?
No.
Okay.
No.
There was
Got it.
noise.
Yeah, 3 no's.
The only
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Garber?
Yes.
Commissioner Marks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Webster?
Yes.
Chairman Broder?
Yes, yes, yes.
There was noise.
I just wanted to even it out.
I move to approve the sheriff's office to buy out 2 vehicle leases not to exceed $21,200.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Further discussion on this?
Just to note, we're purchasing these, we've been paying leases on them. This is also included in that ARPA money. Can't get cars, we're gonna keep the ones we have.
Any idea how long we're thinking of keeping them?
Well, until they disintegrate.
Okay. And then I'll buy.
Then I'll go chairman buy.
At public auction, of course. Any other discussion on this? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Garber?
Yes.
Commissioner Marks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Webster?
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen?
Yes.
Chairman Broder?
Yes.
I move to authorize the conditional offer of appointment to Adam Stacy passed during the December 12, 2022 special board meeting be rescinded with immediate effect.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion, please.
Yeah, I have to ask, what new data or what new information was brought before this board between the special meeting on Monday and our meeting yesterday to have this sudden about face? I'm not aware of any. I think the board, everybody should be made aware of this in the public before we vote on it.
Please.
I thought about it a long time and I changed my mind. I looked at all the candidates and I liked them all, but I felt that I just didn't feel that he was the right fit for Shiawassee County, so I brought it back up.
Commissioner Holzhausen.
I already voted no, so I'll vote no the second time, so I voted no in the first place.
Keep
Also,
in
what
mind
can
that-
that be?
Keep in mind that a yes vote.
A yes vote
rescinds-
would rescind the offer, would take the offer away, so you probably want to vote to accomplish that goal.
Yeah. Same difference.
Well, just trying to,
Commissioner Webster.
Thanks.
So I'll say that I didn't see a lot of distinction between the candidates. Some, obviously, I had a preference, and we all had preferences. We had these names for more than 3 weeks. We had their information. Their names were published in the paper. There were 2 interviews, the first of which I missed. We had a long time to consider these. So I don't understand. We made a decision. We rarely make perfect decisions. We made a decision, and the train has left the station. To not follow through on that decision, and it's kind of a little late now to even backtrack because it's already been discussed. And I have concerns about our ability to attract a quality person in the future because of this indecision. To say we had 3 or 4 weeks to make a decision and we made a decision Monday and then in 2 days we changed the decision doesn't seem rational to me. I don't understand how we do that. I'll support whatever we do going forward. I do agree that I think the next board should make this decision now. I don't think we have time to do this before the end of the year and before the holidays, but I am concerned about the optics of this for Shiawassee County and what it looks like to potential investors. We're all concerned about economic development. We all want to increase our tax base and we want people to move here. And we had a 5-2 vote. If people voted and then changed their mind, I think it was too late for that. And I would have supported what the board decided to do on Monday, but after we made that vote, it's a little late. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't know what else to say about it. I just have to express my opinion that I felt like we had 3 candidates that were equally qualified and equally disqualified. None of them had county experience. And so we made a decision together, and now that decision feels undermined.
That day, the candidate, Adam Stacy, was not my preference, but once he had 4 votes, I did vote yes. I know that the county coordinator is going to have to come in with pretty darn good support of the board and support of the employees and so on. I'm very uncomfortable saying, I don't want to say bad things about our candidates. I think probably we should have taken more time, discussed more things, listened to each other more, been more open about our disagreements and so on. But while it is unusual to withdraw an offer, it's neither unheard of nor illegal. It's certainly an option of this board. And I can't imagine at this point now continuing forward with this candidate. And I agree with you, we're going to have to go into next year. It's not like I would absolutely be against calling any kind of meeting and trying to run through very, very quickly before the end of the year another candidate. My preference is going to go for us to wait for the new board to come in, start over with some ideas on how we want to do that, and make sure we really, what are we going to do to make sure we get a candidate that is acceptable to very close to the entire board, and somebody who doesn't have to come in with a split. I feel bad about how this has gone down. Probably I can only look back at my own actions and think that maybe I should have been much more forthright in my objections to the current candidate. Maybe I would have persuaded some of you, maybe not. I was admittedly surprised with the 4 votes, but I don't know for sure. Commissioner.
We don't know if it's going to be turned down yet, so we haven't voted until we vote. And also,
that's a good point.
And also, whoever we hire, we always hire at will. So if they work a week, they work a month, we can always let them go if it doesn't work out. So it's always at will. So it's not a real super duper deal. We just didn't let it go that long. So, and we don't know what the vote's going to be yet tonight.
Is there further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I won't exhaust you all. I made my comments pretty clear on where I stood yesterday. On a humanity level, this doesn't sit well with me, I have to say it, because if this was me and I was offered a job, I would have went through a process of telling my wife, we would have given thanks to the Lord. There would have been things that I would have done to prepare, and then to have the rug kind of pulled out. It just hurts me that we would do this. I also understand, though, that you guys are going to make a choice on who the majority of this board will work with, and I will not be one of them. My advice to the new board moving forward would be take your time. The ship on these candidates has now sailed. Anyone in their right mind would say, take a hike, we're not coming back. So you're not in a rush anymore. Maybe we did rush this, trying to maybe give us a say, try to get it done before the end of the year. We were all shocked, but we heard that Dr. Boggs was going to return. So my final advice to this board would be take time, do it right, collaborate, discuss things openly, and make the best decision that you have with the candidates you have. And don't be afraid if you get a pool that just isn't working to walk away and go back at it again. You're in a hurry. And that is all I have to say.
Other discussion?
My final remarks are that I think there's a difference between rescinding an offer in 2 days based off of no data or no new information to come to light, and what my commissioner next to me, Mr. Holhausen, said about someone not working out at will. That to me is a data point. If somebody came in, a candidate came in and we hired them and they didn't work out and there were some problems, I understand that. I would understand that policy. Hey, everybody saw it didn't work out. It's the will of the board. But to just rescind based off of feelings, to me, that really undermines the entire integrity of the board moving forward and shows that you can't really trust anything that we say, because next month, in 2 days, tomorrow, we could flip-flop backwards on it. I think at this point it's really upholding the integrity of the board and less about the candidate themselves. That's all I have to say.
Further discussion? All All right, I have a motion, and I'm gonna have a roll call vote on it. If I can remind everyone that a yes is to rescind, a no is to leave things as they are.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
No.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
No.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
No.
Chairman Broder,
Yes. And that passes.
I move to approve the minutes of the December 12th, 2022 Finance and Administration Committee.
Support.
I have a motion to support discussion on the minutes. All in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the minutes are approved. If I can take just a moment to thank my fellow commissioners. We just discussed a very potentially volatile and difficult issue, and we did it with a great deal of calm and professionalism, and I want to thank all of you for that. I think that's just exactly that we want from our board. Thank you all. Commissioner Webster, if I may move over to you.
Item A, I move to approve the payment to the State of Michigan Department of Technology Management and Budget for radio activation in an amount not to exceed $45,250.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion on that item.
Just as a reminder, this is us accessing the state's network. It's an activation fee. It's not a network available to the general public. It's for emergency services.
And this activates the radios that we purchased.
It activates the radios and it joins us to their network.
It comes out of the 911 budget too.
That's correct. Not general fund.
Thank you. Anything further? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes. That item is approved.
Item B, I move to approve the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 Public Safety and Courts meeting.
Support.
Motion with support. Discussion on the minutes. All in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes are approved. Thank you, Commissioner.
That concludes my report.
Commissioner Garber.
Thank you. I move that we approve the MSU Extension Services for 2023 and authorize the board chairman to sign the agreement.
Support.
I have a motion with support. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes.
I move that we approve the grant agreement between the Shiawassee County Health Department and the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy for environmental health services in the amount of $109,184 for a period of 10/1/2022 through 9/30/2023.
Support.
Motion with support. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Plowman,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes.
I move that we approve the contract between the Shiawassee County Health Department and ALZY Environmental Service, LLC, for registered sanitarian services in the amount of $38 per hour for an average of 24 hours per week for a period of 1/1/2023 to 12/31/23.
Support.
Motion with support. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
and Chairman Broder.
Yes.
I move that we approve the contract between the Shiawassee County Health Department and Dr. Dennis Chernin for medical director services in the amount of $39,240 for a period of 1/1/2023 through 12/31/2023.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
and Chairman Broder.
Yes.
I move that we approve the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 Health and Human Services Committee meeting.
Support.
Motion and support, discussion. All in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Marks, back to you.
Thank you, sir. On item A, I move to approve the resolution of appointments to county advisory committees as recommended by the board chair.
Support.
I have motion and support. Discussions on that item? Hearing none.
It's a resolution, I want you to do a roll call.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Garber,
Yes.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Webster,
Yes.
Commissioner Holzhausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Chairman Broder.
Yes.
All right. Item B, I move to approve the holiday schedule and BOC meeting schedule as presented.
Support.
Got motion and support. Discussions on the schedule at all? All in favor of approving that schedule signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we have our schedule.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes of the December 14, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting.
Support. Motion with support. Discussion. All in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes are approved.
Mr. Chair, that concludes my report for the following time.
It does indeed. Thank you. And at this time, Madam Clerk, we are going to have the swearing in of our new commissioners.
Would the two new commissioners please come forward?
Want me to stand right here?
Why don't you stand there and have them come here in the public area,
Where did you say to stand?
wherever you
How about right here where I sit?
Oh.
We'll decide for you.
And this is for all of the commissioners, so when I
Okay.
say I do solemnly swear, for your office, I have you listed under your district. So please, the ones that are returning in 2023, raise your right hands. And I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Shiawassee County Commissioner, and then your individual districts are listed, in and for the County of Shiawassee and the State of Michigan, according to the best of my ability. And you say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you, and we will see you January 4th at 5 p.m. for the organizational meeting. Okay.
I thought we had to repeat back what you said.
Yeah,
so-
Well, when you're doing it like this, it
Okay.
can go either way. So I'll give you each of your slips and you can sign them for me.
We should make the new people at least repeat that.
Brad.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, please. Marlene's and Gary's.
Can we sign in blue or is it?
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Down, please.
Thank you, guys.
Watch the wire. Watch the wire.
Oh, yeah? Can't go past the line.
You're fine.
Everything is such.
You go
No,
past the
you're
line, you
fine.
get electrocuted. Good luck.
Yeah, you can't come this way. There's
You
a
gotta
wire
go
there.
back way.
You gotta go back the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
I
We'll
need
get
your,
it.
I need your oath.
I got them both right over
Oh,
here.
We're working on a new sound system.
That's okay. I can do something. Oh.
Can we all say
Completely opposite.
All right, very good. All right, if we can move forward, a couple of things. For myself, first of all, on behalf of the board, our condolences on the passing of your mother, Commissioner Webster.
Thank you for the beautiful wreath, and Commissioner Howard came for visitation, and that meant a lot too. So for all of that, thank you.
At this point, I have the great pleasure to make a couple of awards, if I may. Mr. Plowman, if you would stand, I'd like to read this. It says, in recognition of dedicated service and leadership to Shiawassee County, John Plowman, County Commissioner, I got to take a breath here, 1984 to 1992, 2010 to 2016, 2018 to 2022, presented the 15th of December, 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It's been great working with you, and I know we'll see you around.
Yes, you were.
Any remarks? You can come forward.
I'll sit there.
Commissioner, in recognition of dedicated public service and leadership to Shiawassee County, Brandon Marks, County Commissioner, 2016-2022, presented as of today. Thank you very much for your service to the county. Congratulations. Let's do this.
She'd like to take.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah, reenact Plowman's, please.
Reenact.
Take two.
Is there supposed to be anything on here?
Hold the camera. It should take it.
I'm not a photographer.
This is the ceiling, yes.
Yeah.
Is that your camera?
Yeah.
It's worse than the
Is there actually
secret
film
stuff.
in that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good, I got it.
It's not that DSL, yeah.
All right.
Cool. Good thing.
Okay, everybody stay around afterwards for our pictures.
Coordinator Boggs. Yeah.
Yes, I know, we're not quite done, it's just a reminder. Dr. Boggs, do you have anything for us?
Yes, I have several quick things. So, as of right now, weather permitting, so far, December 22nd, 11 a.m., we will have the courthouse dedication for the renovations. We have ordered the plaque that will go there. It is already up, thanks to Tim Hill. We're going to have a short little dedication ceremony at 11 a.m. On the 22nd. A couple of things, housekeeping things. As you know, we'll be making end-of-year adjustments over the next several weeks and into the new year. We will be presenting a few documents to you in January on the courthouse renovations for approval, particularly where the employees will be going that once the courthouse is closed. We have begun certain parts of our audit already. This year we began with the Drain Commission, and they are working through that. As far as the budget goes, I just want to give a special thank you to Tracy, Lacey, Casey, and Morgan for their help in putting this together, and providing you these lovely bound volumes in front of you. And just I want to say it's been a real pleasure to work with Commissioner Plowman and Commissioner Marks these last several years, and I wish them all the best as they move forward, but we will see you guys around, I am sure. And welcome to our new commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please stay for the photo for you guys.
At this time, yes?
I just want to thank you for passing the AFSCME contract. I know that both sides have come to the table. Other bargaining units have gotten other things, and the clerks in my office are well deserving of what little bit they can get out of this contract, and it took courage. They were terrified to come here, and I always encourage my staff to come and speak for themselves. And they did that, and I'm just thankful that you approved that agreement.
We appreciate hearing from you. Thank you. At this time, the second opportunity to address the board. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Seeing no one coming forward, we are adjourned.